During your career, you've really made a lot of decisions, based off of your family. For you, how did you learn to trust your own voice and know that you were going to get to where you were going to go?
I think from early on in my career, I had bouts of burnout and moments where I just felt like I wasn't in control of my own path. And luckily, I, at a young age, probably I was around 17, realized this is my life and I'm gonna steer this ship. And from that moment on, I knew I could trust in my heart and I could trust that, family was everything. And it was time for me to steer the ship. And kind of just my guiding light has always been family and the people around me. And I think that's been the greatest thing about my basketball journey is all the amazing people I've met along the way. But yeah, I made some tough decisions early on in life to just follow my own path and do what felt right. And, leaving Connecticut, going to Delaware was so great. And kind of just made my journey take off from there.
That's awesome. I mean, you received national attention in middle school. How do you think that helped kind of shape you to where you are now to gain that confidence too?
Yeah, I was receiving a lot of attention early on and kind of just learning as I went how to speak to media, all those things, but also finding times for the inner child to still play and enjoy, the little things because when you've got that microscope on you, sometimes it's hard. And there was a lot of pressure and all those things, and it helped me to realize the importance of my process and gaining, confidence from that. And it was a lot of learning along the way.
That's awesome. And of course, we're talking about family. How has your sister Lizzie really kind of shaped who you are?
Yeah, my sister Lizzie has been my guiding light and, just my greatest role model. She was born deaf and blind with so many disabilities, and the way that she goes about life with a big smile and a big deep belly chuckle, those are things that I have to realize, win, lose, whatever the day brings, what was something great about today? And she kind of always reminds me that.
That's awesome. And I know oh my gosh, there's so many people that look up to you for so many different reasons, right? What would you hope people could take from your story and bring hope into their own lives, having that confidence and faith that they're going to get there? Yeah,
I hope people take from my story that your life is yours and yours to live, and it's up to you to steer it where you want to, and your mindset is really, what makes each day great. And, there's going to be lows, there's going to be highs, but through it all, learn. And it's always, time you can reshape, relearn, and grow from whatever you're coming across.
Awesome. And of course, we just mentioned the board upstairs. Tell me a little bit about this awesome woodworking that you've got. And now you've got your own company with it too. Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah, so early in my career, when I burn out from basketball, I realized who's Elena the person and what are other things that I'm interested in? And it made my basketball career better. And also, when I'd step out of the gym, I had other passions I wanted to do. And I love woodworking. I love the process of it, the art of creating something beautiful. And so I make wooden hoops, and I have donated one to the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame, just to show, my other passions and love. And that's really what got me back on my basketball journey, was finding who Elena is outside of the basketball player, and woodworking was a huge part of it.
That is so awesome. I can only imagine, for self-help, self-care, all the things too.
Yeah, it's meditative for sure.
That's awesome. And now you're managing director for USA Basketball.
Yeah.
What's that been like, kind of stepping into this? It's a completely new role. It's awesome.
Yes. I have a brand new challenge now with USA Basketball, being the manager of 3x3, which is such an incredible sport, and I fall in love with it more and more every day. And just trying to find the right players and the right coach to kind of get us ready for the Olympics. There's tons of tournaments right now that we play throughout the summer. We just won the World Cup, which was incredible, with the youngest team to ever do it. So the greatest part of it is just the interaction with the players and watching them grow through this process too.
That's awesome. And with your own journey in basketball, have you seen that really translate into what you do now?
I think just with my own journey and kind of being able to be a good teammate, spot a good teammate, and see that you can never do this alone. Like, that's why I love basketball. It's a team sport. So forming teams now is something that I'm new to, but it's been a really exciting role. And I think throughout my career, you know what makes someone great and what makes someone tick. So finding ways to put the pieces together. Kind of like woodworking too. You got to put it together to make the masterpiece. So that's the hope for this.
That's awesome. What was one of the most, you would say, rewarding parts of your career?
I would say the most rewarding part of my career was coming back to it and knowing to give it up in order to find the passion again and fall back in love with it. I think if I never did that, it would have been a much different path. So I'm glad I had the courage to let it go and then come back.
What would you say would be one of the most difficult parts about the career?
About my career, I would say probably the most difficult parts would have been my health. I struggle with chronic Lyme disease, and then I also had a lot of injuries, especially my back injuries later in my career. Those are the moments that are hard because it takes you off of the court, and at times it feels isolating and lonely. But again, my wife, my family, those are the people that get you through, and then my teammates as well. Like, they kept me smiling on the hardest days, so those were the toughest times.
That's awesome. I can only imagine, like, continued setbacks, different things, being in the spotlight at such a young age and battling people's opinions.
Yeah.
How do you think that prepared you just for who you are in life right now?
Yeah, I actually think early on being in the spotlight helped me for the social media days of today, of knowing how to ignore, the noise and kind of just living my life and living it day to day and doing the things that matter most and spending time with the people that, care about me the most and who I care about, and building relationships. Like, throughout your career, there's so many highs, lows, there's championships won, lost, all those things, but the people is what made it so incredible.
That's awesome. Do you have a favorite accomplishment that you're most proud of?
It's hard to say, but probably the pinnacle was winning a WNBA championship. There are so many incredible players and teams, and it is so hard to do. So bringing DC our first title was really special.
That's awesome. And your wife, is she with the woodworking company as well?
Oh yeah, she does the woodworking as well. She runs the business, all that. She does cutting boards. She's super talented.
That's awesome. What's it been like bringing in like your family and then the family you grew up with too, all into kind of your world of basketball?
Mm-hmm. It's been so fun. Like, actually, this whole weekend, we've kind of been reminiscing on all the things throughout my career and all the places we've been. We've been to China. We've been all over the world. So to have my family on this journey with me has been, most meaningful.
What word of advice would you have for young girls looking to go to that next level one day and have those aspirations?
I think my advice for any young athlete would be, find your wins in each day, because it's all about the process, right? We're going to have wins, we're going to have losses, but it's the consistency of showing up each day and having the passion to show up each day. So first you have to be passionate about it because it's hard, and it's hard to be consistent. But if you love it, you can be, and then finding small wins every single day, and it builds into a masterpiece.
What's it been like to see your name in the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame?
Seeing my name in the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame, it's like hard to even put words to it, because there's just been so many incredible greats that have come before that have inspired me, and now to know that my name is there and hopefully I can inspire someone to get here one day is really cool.